All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the TCG Scrubs podcast. It's been a minute. Welcome to episode 2, though. Um, we had little bumps in the road. You notice a lot of people are missing. They're very busy, and that's kind of what kind of held us back from, I guess, making more videos here. Was just we all got kind of busy. So we're gonna make an effort here and there where we can with what we can to make things work out. So today is actually just me and Joey. We're going to be looking at a lot of information that came out from dev streams to kind of catch up where we left off. So kind of from the beginning of it, Joey, we were going over spoilers for the Merlin Recollection deck. That deck came out. You picked it up.
It sucks.
Played a couple games with it. You don't like it?
No, it sucks. So far, I'll reserve judgment. I've only played it like 3 times, but so.
No, I mean that's basically the sentiment amongst everybody is that it's not great. You talked about it earlier, like, oh, you're gonna share some. There's no list to share with you. I mean, I'm sure we could find some fan made lists, some theory crafting. The Grand Archive Discord is actually pretty cool because they do have threads dedicated to what they call make X good. So like, hey, make Merlin good, make Sylvie good, and it's people who are in there who are theory crafting their decks together and like, hey, what do you think of this? And I've played that in my locals. This isn't great, or you get stopped hard by like Water Diana or whatever it might be. So there's channels to go look at and take a look at. But are there any lists in say top 16 at any of the major events? Major event being like regional or ascent level? No. I look at most of the lists. A lot of it is like other stuff that's really good, but she hasn't made it. I don't know if she will, anytime soon. I think what happened when the Recollection decks came out was the first 2, which were Tristan and Sylvie, may have been a bit overtuned, I guess is the way to look at it. And then the second ones came out, they did bring it down a little bit. Arguably not a ton, because I know you look at top lists and you will see things like Tristan, which was the first Recollection. Sylvie died, but she was, I know, a problem child when it came out, where people were concerned about it. But like Dao Chan, which is the one that Melissa had, that's still, you still see water fractals and tops. And the Goja deck, I should say, is another one that you'll see here and there. You'll see variations of it. Typically the Win Seryu version is really good still. And then Merlin came out and it was just way undertuned, I think, unfortunately. So we'll see how they adjust that going into the next Recollection deck. The next one was actually revealed as well already. We'll get to that one here in a bit. But I did catch you up off camera, kind of like of some of the stuff that came out during Phantom Monarchs to kind of make you aware of it. So far, do you have, I don't know, any thoughts on that one way or another?
No, not like chess stuff seemed kind of cool. I like that would be my most I think most interesting thing from it that I kind of liked. Seems interesting the way the meta's going. I need to tune back into some streams and stuff and watch some top 8 stuff or top games.
There's a lot of cool streams to check out. A lot of content creators are finally doing gameplay. I know that was one thing that was lacking in the content area was substantial gameplay videos. I'm still not, in my opinion, like oh, I love this one or I love that one, because a lot of people do best of ones in their gameplay videos, and I get it. Even doing Force of Will, when we did gameplay, it's like you look at the metrics and it's like, yeah, they're engaged for the first 20 minutes and they kind of fall off at the end, and maybe somebody makes it further along to show that little number tick up a little bit further down. So I kind of get that. I kind of also get the effort behind it, because a lot of people who do the gameplays would do it the way I wanted to do it, where like the card pops up in the corner and there's a life tracker on the screen. So that's like a lot of effort from beginning to end for a video that could be potentially an hour long for where people just aren't watching it. But I don't know. I still want to do the full best of 3 situation. I had kind of an idea. I don't know if you'd be down with it. It's always like time permitted, but where it's just like, hey, we're gonna casually like stream for hour and a half, something maybe longer, where we're just keep throwing the same deck against each other, just trying to learn ins and outs and showcase it if it's a new deck kind of thing, which will be easier once the sandbox is released. That's something we'll talk about today.
The sandbox was
in.
really cool. Or
And it's
what I'm looking at.
Yeah, and it is it's pretty neat. We'll talk about it in a second. I did want to kind of get started on one thing. I do have a lot of slides we're going to go through. These slides are just taken from the dev stream initially, from the first one that came out in December, right after Christmas. I want to say like 5 days later, and some of them are just saved from the Grand Archive Twitter. Or X, whatever you want to call it, where I just kind of pulled them up. So we'll kind of go look at that, look at some new cards, look at some fun stuff. But the dev stream during Christmas did a thing where they kind of invited some content creators to join the stream through like a call-in, like the way we're talking to each other right now. And I thought it'd be fun if everybody was here, but then it was just you and me. But just to kind of be like, hey, how well could you answer some of these? Because what they gave them was like a quiz. Like, hey, if you can answer this question correctly, we'll give a prize out for the stream. And every question these people correctly answer is an additional prize. And what it was I don't know if you remember, I shared that Alice deck box a long time ago. It was a very pretty blue one, I want to say, and it opened up. It had Alice on the inside, and
yeah.
I think, I said I want that, and Melissa, I was like, yeah, I like that too. They were going to give one of those for every correct question answered into a pool, and then at the end of the stream, just start giving them away to anybody who was watching on the stream, like as a random selection. So I thought it'd be funny to see, okay, Joey, how well would we do here? We'll just do like 2 of these, or we'll do 3 of these, because there's a lot of them.
Did you give me some softball questions at least?
I'm going to give you the first 3.
Okay.
I'll give you the first 3, and then we'll kind of go from there. We're kind of still kind of dusting the I don't know what the right word is here. We're rusty at what we do here. It's been a minute, and so as a result of that, and us having to last minute figure out how to record this, because we had another way we were going to record it, but that didn't work out. You're not going to see me as I kind of go through and show Joey cards, so you're probably just going to see Joey and his reaction to some of this, which will be great either way. With that said, let's switch to question 1. This is, by the way, community vote, as it says. They provided a link to a Google Doc, and then people opened it, answered the questions, how they felt, and then they submitted it, and that's what this is going to be based on. So with that said, which class was ranked second based on the community vote for the strongest class?
And they gave me
assassin,
ranked second,
warrior, a spirit, or a cleric? Yeah, correct. The second.
Well, I think the strongest class is probably, I'm pretty sure, is assassin, and then. I don't think warriors or clerics. Wait. I'm gonna go with spirit. I'm gonna do C. Spirit.
C. All right. And then the answer was, how do I pivot? Click.
Be warrior.
yeah. Spirit was the lowest one. Chat's blasting you right now. They're like, "Oh, what was this guy? Where'd they find him?
What about,
how'd you think it was a spirit?"
I guess I was thinking the level 1 decks, but then the level 1 decks are still level up, and I'm rusty. Okay. Go to question 2.
Okay, I am, but you're gonna have to close your eyes because of the numbering order in here didn't make sense, and you're gonna see the answer page before the one. So don't look for like 1 second.
Okay, I got my eyes closed.
Okay, you can look. You can look. Like I said, we're trying to make this work. All right, question 2: which guide card was ranked last based on the community vote for the strongest guide card? I shared these guide cards with y'all early on when I was kind of getting y'all familiar with the game. There's different guides that kind of help you level up. So these are the guides that are the options here. So you have Heavenly Guide, Academy Guide, Morgan Soul Guide, and Liminal Guide.
Dude, the Dungeon Guide isn't even on there. It's like the one that I actually know.
So which one was ranked last based on community vote for the strongest guide card? So this would be least strongest. I guess I was trying to ask for. Yeah.
Liminal Guide was, I think, the only one that I sort of remember, but I thought it was like good. Then they banned the cards that made it good. I think is that the one that could come back to life? You could take it from your graveyard or something. No, I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna go Liminal.
Yeah, I mean, I'll answer that because in actuality we would be all together. I'd be like, yeah, that's the one that when you banish it, I'm sorry, from the graveyard can come back into play if you level up. So
Okay,
like
yeah,
body in
yes,
the
yes.
field.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's probably was one of the stronger ones. Uh,
Heavenly Guide was the one where if your opponent leveled up without traditionally leveling up, so they say Dungeon Guide, then you can Heavenly Guide to level
okay,
up your champion in return.
that one was good. What does Academy Guide do again?
That one, I believe, made leveling up cheaper by one.
Okay, and
I
what does
think.
Morgan do?
So yeah, Morgan's not even a real guide. That's kind of like, in my opinion, a trick question. That one is one that's like a ally that while she's in the field, I can't remember. She prevents something from happening while in play, but they can kill her and then they can start doing the thing to you. I forget what it was.
Okay, I'm gonna go with C Morgan Soul Guide then as the weakest guide, since you seem the most. You didn't know what that one did the most.
All right.
Heavenly Guide is the weakest? I thought that was like gaining popularity in that time.
It's funny because I would argue now it is. As in like the past, like since the Dev 2 stream came out like a week ago, is now probably one that's being talked about most. I think it's having a price spike because it's being seen as being used in both Pantheon, and I want to say it's being used in a standard play as well because of some decks and what they're trying to do these days. So it definitely flips. You chat's blasting you again, like, wow, this guy. These are TCG scrubs, aren't they? All right, we're gonna go third question. Don't look again.
Okay, this is within like a 1% though, so that hardly counts. Okay, I'm closing my eyes.
You can look now. Okay, this one has a bonus question tied to it. So it says, who gives Diana the pendant she is wearing in Chrono Warp? And bonus for knowing what the pendant is. When I was watching this stream and I was seeing these questions, I was like, bro, we were invited.
Dude, yeah,
pass
this.
I'll be kidding. You guys got some easy questions.
You just showed me Arasana, so I'm going to go, she gave the pendant, and the pendant is the Grand Crusader's ring in pendant form. I'm just kidding. Okay.
All right, and then the answer is you were right. As Arasana, you got one deck box. So the way this one worked is if you got the question right, you got one deck box. If you got the bonus question right, that was an additional deck box. But hey, we earned one as a team here to contribute to the stream, so we weren't complete losers.
Considering that was a complete guess, yeah.
Just to give you an idea, here's all the questions. That's how many they had. Yeah, different streamers and.
I wonder if there would have been
website coordinators. Come on.
Yeah, I wonder if there's one that I could have actually like answered without just guessing or, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll next time go through another 3, because they didn't do it again, so it's the only questions we kind of have. So it'd be kind of fun. It'd be cool too. Maybe next time Colin's with us and y'all can both attempt to answer them together.
And put our zero brain together.
Basically. So going from there, yeah, this one. Close that out. So Pantheon was revealed. So we had kind of gotten some word of it that there was a new format coming out. They called it Pantheon. With the basic Google search, I had found what definition of Pantheon is, the gathering of God. So I said, oh, there's going to be a multiplayer format. This is actually a pretty cool multiplayer format that a lot of people are kind of hyping up right now. I dig the hype. I love the hype. I'm hyped. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, let's see how many people stick to this hype. Given like 2-3 months from now, how many people are really hyped about this. There's 2 videos I guess I should have showed you before going into this. I'll just send them to you. You can watch them later. One of them was a cool animated video where they kind of paid a studio or whatever to create I want to say it's 2-minute long animated clip of this is Xander, Arasana, the 4 I told you about earlier, Lorraine and Kongming in an arena fighting it out. And it's pretty cool because the cards where you see like a move they use is actually being animated as they're using it. So you're like, oh, that's cool. There's that whatever. I don't know a ton of cards to be able to name it, but I know people were like hyped on that. It is cool. It reminds me too of when Force of Will was like, hey, we're gonna make a series of OVAs basically, and everybody was hyped on it, and they had that little teaser. They should really do something with what they did. That'd be cool to make I don't know, little like the way Lord of the Rings, the way League of Legends does with they had like
Yeah.
I'm brain farting here, the
The
Star Guardians.
yeah.
So remember when they introduced Nico? Like that would be cool too. Like a little like, hey, here's Arizona. It's a quick 3.5 minute lore animated video to hype you up. And hey, guess what? They revealed a character at the end. That's the next champion. That'd be cool.
They do that a lot in dude, I'm also brain farting. Like
Yeah.
Fate Grand Order did a lot of that. A lot of the mobile games have a lot of those. The what's that? Oh my gosh. A lot of the newer mobile games, the new gacha games, all have a lot of those.
And those people, like, they rake in money. Like,
Yeah.
I used to play Fate Go kind of a lot, and I got burnt out on that one. I don't ever want to go. What made it worse is, like, I accidentally lost my account because you had to link it with a code to transfer phones. I just accidentally wiped the phone one day. I was like, well, there goes that. I'm not going back. That's what I needed. Wash my hands of that. But I think the more players that we get, because it has even been growing even since I've joined. Almost at Force. Even since I've joined Grand Archive, it's grown substantially, and you can tell because you'll start to see players who show up in events, and you're looking at like the top whatever list, and you can see numbers that are so high. Like when I joined, I think we're in the 11,000s already because I got like 11,722 is my number. And now I seen one the other day that was like 21 or 22 already. So you can see people joining the game. I'm sure the more that comes in, the more money there is, the more likely they'd be cool, to do something cool like that. Those gacha games, they just make tons of money.
Yeah.
Those are just money making machines, so they have that to do. It'll be cool. The second video was explainer, so it is a singleton format format, and which is one of every single card in your deck. You can't have more than two. They did introduce, if you see these cards on screen, in the bottom right corner is a white ribbon that says Pantheon, so there will be Pantheon exclusive cards, and some of these cards will be released in sets. So the next set is called Radiant Origins, or RDO, and within it there will be a dedicated slot that is either a token for the set itself, or it could be a Pantheon based card. The Pantheon cards, for the most part, I want to say right now, are going to be the boons. I'll explain the boons in a second, but there are a few new cards as well that kind of help add to archetypes, basically. So we'll look at some of those. So the boons they have are kind of like, for anybody familiar with Shadowverse Evolve, they made a multiplayer format as well. I want to, I don't remember what it's called. And they had basically a dedicated area, like the way this will be, and it's kind of your boon area. You have two cards there. You have a greater boon and a lesser boon. And these will just basically add additional effects to what you're attempting to do with your deck, and maybe how you completely build your deck with it. An example of a boon that I saw during the dev stream last week was that you can get a boon that says, hey, water element is now available to you. So say you went wind spirit, and you're going to level 3 with, say, Kong Ming, so your Terra, and you have a boon for water, you can now have water and wind cards as well as your Terra cards. Yeah, and Norm. So you kind of unlock a lot more. I think that's cool. Somebody who's really into suited lately, I do want to do a suited Pantheon deck. And right now it's Fire and Norm, but in spoilers, we got some water ones. So it'd be like, hey, perfect, I throw that in there, and I can run all the suited cards that we have so far.
Yeah, I mean, more colors and more, and more like ways to build, because something that that a lot of like usual singleton formats have is like you do have a lot more deck flexibility depending on like who your commander is, or your champion, or however it kind of washes out. So it feels a lot like that's the functionality of the lesser boons at all. At least, yeah.
There's quite a few boons were revealed. I actually didn't capture those because the way they did it was they gave all the content creators one of each of the Pantheon decks, and then they opened it up, and it was kind of available to them to be able to spoil those cards for everybody through their social medias. So it kind of helped people find more people who created content on like say Twitter or on YouTube, because they can go follow them like, oh hey, you know, Sparkle Sisters, they revealed one and I never knew about them before, so now they're following them, kind of thing. I thought it was pretty cool. An example of a couple of them, I remember there was one where there's a archetype, I think is a word, where it's like there's guns and you have to be, see, I'm bad at this. There's basically boons that help abilities of champions. So if a champion needs to be distant and it's hard for them to be distant, there's boons that say, hey,
make your
if you pay distant, 2, you gain distance, but the next time you do this, it'll cost you 1 more. So the next time you do it, it now costs you 3, 4, which still pretty cool.
Yeah.
Depending on how you play your hand out, it could be useful for you.
And I mean, you know, ideally you have those distant cards in the deck, you know, and this is mostly just like to oh, I don't have anything up, you know, you have to resort to using the boon in that instance. Is it actually guns, or because I feel like I've seen like there's like the archery cards and stuff.
There's guns. There's guns and there's bows.
Okay, I do.
Basically, Diana uses them. Yeah, and the reason why I got brain farted on the distant part is because the distant isn't required to use the guns, but it adds a bonus, because distant, the way it works would be like, say, let's just say an ally says on it distant 2, and it's a 1/3 ally. If you can make it distant, it gains 2 attack. So now that's swinging for 3 instead of the 1.
Yeah.
And I believe Diana, cause I did play against it this weekend, if she's distant, because he couldn't get distant because I messed with him, but if she was distant, I think she does an additional amount of damage, and if she doesn't, oh, that's right. So when she swings, she glimpses that number +1. Okay. So he's swinging in for 2, he's glimpsing for 3, but if he's distant, he's getting an additional attack, so he's glimpsing for 4 or whatever. And he couldn't get distant because I basically interrupted his graveyard or something. I forget what I did, but it was hilarious.
Just evil. Yeah.
Yeah. But these boons do start face down, so your opponent won't know what they are until you decide to play them. They come in both slow and fast speed. They're various ones. These were the first 3 they kind of just showed us with when they announced the official format. Everything's kind of the same. It's just you get 2 boon cards, 1 lesser, 1 greater, 1 of every card in your deck, so singleton, and the ban list as it exists has no cards in it in Pantheon because it's just a new format. So any cards that anybody was familiar with that existed in, say, the regular constructed format are legal to pick up. And knowing that, when I realized this would be a multiplayer deck, I actually went through and picked them all up while they were banned, and they're like real cheap before their prices started building up. And I was able to get some foils along the way. Just to be ready. So I'm actually set. I picked up all the banned cards and I'm ready to go in case I need to put them in a deck.
There's no set rotation or limit there also, right? Usually there's
no word of it. Matter of fact, there's still no proper word of it in standard format. It was asked some time ago if rotation would ever be a thing, and they only answered that question with saying, excuse me, there's not enough sets out right now to where they rotated it for it to make sense. So it's not off the table, but it's also not something that are like, yeah, we're going to do it, but later. So we'll see what they do. I don't know if I necessarily care one way or the other. I think a lot of people would prefer there not to be a rotation, but a ban list instead. And I think if that's done well enough, then we can avoid rotation, a rotated format. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, I came from card games myself that had it. So I played Pokemon and we played Force of Will. I played a few other games, but they were never around long enough to have a rotation happen. But so I am used to it, and I understand it, and I wouldn't really necessarily like Blake and complain about it. But I get the idea where it's like, hey, with it, my cards that were earlier on lose complete value, and I also get the idea of without it, cards from set 1 and 2 that are no longer reprinted are near impossible to get without more reprints of them coming out.
Yeah, and they gain a bunch of value.
But we are seeing the efforts of reprints coming out now, which could, I guess, technically, when you think about it, kind of support the idea that rotation is eventually going to take place because of that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it also could just be like a pseudo rotation where they just, they'll release a set or something, and it'll have, like 20% of the like old like actual good old cards that are played. To support, because it also depends on what they have. Maybe they have a really good grasp of the meta and what they want to put out there, like what cards they would like to not rotate, or and then they can just like ban list those cards, or or re-release the other cards that they do want to keep in. Rotation's it's an interesting like, I guess, puzzle to solve, and like kind of work around how to do that.
It really is. I think we can probably get a big deeper conversation of that, like another time, where we can really get into that, because a lot of other aspects come into that, like collector value and stuff like that, because there is a large collector scene within the card game, especially because so much of it caters to with like CSRs, which are on the level of like the what do they call them back in the Enforceable Ubers, right?
Yeah, Ubers.
It's basically like these like monochromatic cards that you could pull that are like one per case. Same concept here, but except for I guess it is one per case for CSR. But anyways, and they even have tournaments where it's like, hey, you come in with all your super nice cards, and I don't know how that format works, but they basically start revealing cards, and whoever has the most starts earning some points or whatever, and they win. I'm really curious on how that works. I'll have to look into that, because it's really interesting to watch. Cause I did watch it, but I didn't know what was happening.
You're like, that card looks nice. That card looks nice.
It was just people revealing like cards, and like I want to say like let's just say Arisana has a CSR level 3 champion, right? She does. And they pull them out and they go, okay, he has one. Okay, he also has one. And they revealed another one. He has two. Okay, he also two. And then they keep going until like maybe somebody doesn't have any or something like that. So you can either have somebody with like 20 cards. There's also security concerns with that. I've been hearing people talk about where it's like these people who play that format are showing up to events with like $5,000-$10,000 in product in the backpack, and they're walking in and out of this event. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah. This is interesting.
We tangent right there. We'll go back to what we're talking about. So Pantheon, these are the starter decks I was telling you about. So $40 per piece. In my opinion, it's kind of a high price for a starter deck. There's nothing necessarily special inside of it where like I'm getting some dice or some special I don't know, box. Not that
that's
I should expect something like that. I'd still probably grab one of these, but as somebody who likes to own, say, a full set, I'm like, oh man, this is gonna cost me like what, $120 just to pick everything up or something like that.
No, so, I mean this to me just seems like it's, you can kind of trace a lot of the like card game ideas and like what a lot of card games do back to like Magic or back to other card games, and what kind of influences things, and this just seems like the typical like Magic Commander decks that are like more like, this is something I think I'm gonna get, and then keep a close like in the most recent ones, obviously it's like the Doctor Who decks and the Final Fantasy decks, and those kind of decks, which I think it's a nice easy like entry point, which I think is what's really good about those like these products. I don't think you're not meant to get all four unless it's like unless you're a fan of all four of these decks in place. Like I would probably also get Xander because I already have like a Kong Ming deck that I could maybe just edit around or do something else with, but like I don't think I'd like to play Kong Ming in this. I'd like to play something else.
But to add to that though, well, see, so back on price real quick is like for $40 and it's just the deck. That's all that's in there. is not too, I guess, bad. I know you think about it, a recollection deck. How much was your recollection deck for Merlin? Like when you picked it up?
Mine was
Do you remember?
30 or 40, I think. Yeah.
30, 40. Okay.
I believe it's somewhere around there. Yeah.
I think it was definitely in the higher part. Like I think MSRP is right around 40 or 50 on it.
Yeah, I think it was 40, and I got it for.
And I mean, it comes with like 3 booster packs and then like the special dice, which was the first time they did it. They didn't do it again, by the way, with the next one we're going to talk about. But and it has a nice box. The Recollection Lights, which are just the deck, and it came out for the first 2 that came out like a year or so later. Those were $40 MSRP. So, and they didn't have anything extra in them. So it's kind of like a standard price on it now when you think about it.
Mm-hmm. It also kind of depends on like what, do you know if these cards have like money cards? Like usually a commander deck will have like a Soul Ring in them, and then and Soul Ring is, I don't know what the prices are now, but
Soul Rings had so many reprints that I don't think it's too bad just to pick up a Soul Ring anymore.
I don't think it's too bad either, but I think that's a lot of that is because of the like those commander decks getting pushed out. Like
100%.
If this has like Grand Crusaders rings in them, and it has those like popular like materialization deck cards, then I think that that price starts looking a bit more attractive, I guess.
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought too, and I don't know the deck list for these and what's in them. I just saw a little bit from content creators. I definitely don't think they have any Divine Relics in them, so there's no Grand Crusaders ring inside of it.
That's lame.
But another cool aspect I was going to tell you about, maybe you do want to get the Kong Ming, is that there are cards in these decks where it's the artwork featured on it is new artwork, and it is more catered towards the champion itself. So you might find a card that you use in Kong Ming normally that has just a random character on it doing something random, and then you get this version, it has Kong Ming on it doing that instead now. So it's like incentive to want to pick that up. They
also have like Pantheon specific cards too, right? Like
so it is a way to get your boons. I don't know, because there are Pantheon cards that are in it, but those Pantheon cards are not exclusive. They'll be available in the set, but you have to hope to pull them or pick them up on the secondary market. So it's basically guarantees those few Pantheon cards are something you have now, which I get. Then the next set was called Radiant Origins, releasing April 3rd. This is actually pretty cool, but also quite pricey. So it is a booster box, and you see here it's going for about $191 per box. Typically, you pick up a new set box, and it's about $85 to $110, depending where you're getting it from. You probably find it online on the cheaper end, or go buy it at a local store on the higher end. And the obvious thing there is you are supporting your store where you go play your game at. It was kind of explained. I'm not the best person to really explain this, so we will just read what's here. But it is a 481 unique cards in the set. There's a bunch of codes here: RDO, RDO1E, RDO-A, RDO-OP, or RDO-P. There's a lot of dedicated slots in these packs for different things. So there will be a Pantheon section in here. There's an Armory section in here. So armories were reprints of cards or material deck cards that had special foiling. Smoke Bombs is one. I actually pulled the Smoke Bombs Armory cards. That's pretty cool. So this will be a way to get alternate foils of certain cards. Typically, they're going to be material deck cards.
Interesting. Okay.
What else was there? I think I explained to you earlier before we started recording that there was an underprinting of UR cards from the latest set, Phantom Monarchs. They made an announcement, I believe before the stream came out, saying that they were planning on correcting it and how they were planning on correcting it. One of these slots here is actually a dedicated UR slot for reprints, I believe. So it's not always going to be there, but it has a high chance of being there.
Yeah.
This is where I'm rusty on. That's where I don't have my information down on. But it's a great way to get staple cards. So there will be that one I showed you, Lost Providence. There'll be Grand Crusaders rings. There'll be Quicksilver Grails and things like that with different artwork in these slots. So I think it's really cool. I think it's going to help the price kind of come down and be affordable for some stuff like Lost Providence. It's a $140 card right now as is. These won't be nice, full, fancy, full art cards like the way I showed you the Lost Providence. These will be like more normal looking, bordered cards.
Yeah.
I would love to get one of these boxes of this set, but I don't think that's going to happen. Had a lot of things to take care of with my car recently, so I'm kind of broke.
They are. This is a pretty steep price point for sure. It's like it looks nice. It says the box, each box contains like 2.5x the amount of SR and UR rarity cards, and then like 2x the amount of R rarity cards, which does seem kind of nice. But yeah, I don't know. It seems like a lot.
It also has quite a few reprints. One of the main reprints I think people have been asking for set after set was a reprint of Fracture Ice, which is a water card. Mm-hmm. And at one point, I want to say that card got up to $30 per one, and that's like $120 just to get a play set to play a deck that you may just enjoy and want to be good in a tournament. So a lot of reprints that are necessary, I think, are coming out of this. There's a few that are not being reprinted. I'm kind of sad. I'm curious what we're getting them later. One of them was Sadie. Sadie hasn't been announced for a reprint, and I don't know what she's going for now, but she had peaked at about like $60 to $80 at one point, because she's from the first set that is now out of print. Alter editions of the first set aren't too uncommon. Like my local store has like 4 of them on the shelf. But just trying to pull an SR out of that and get the ones you wanted. That's just the gamble, Another thing about the price though is like it is a celebration set. This isn't a standard set, so you see it's celebrating 3 years of Grand Archive. So this is supposed to be a bigger deal than just being like, hey, the new set came out, Phantom Monarchs, but it's going for 200. It's supposed to be a lot more than just that. They actually put a lot of effort into the box. I don't have any video of it, but the box is real fancy itself, and has a little flap that kind of comes off where the artwork is, and it reveals a hard shell box inside that if you remember in Force of Will, those red boxes that we had that were hard shell boxes, more in line with that, so this is a nicer product basically.
I mean, it seems pretty nice, like especially if it has everything, like if you can get it's like, especially if you got one of those $150 cards or just like money cards, it could almost pay for itself depending on what you do with it. And knowing it's for the 30-year anniversary kind of makes it a better, easier, I guess, expense to justify.
I look forward to a lot of people to open packs and throw them up on secondary market, because there'll be some cards I'm definitely picking up from here. There's some cool stuff. You will see it in a minute. We're also getting introduced to a new card in our ultimate spells. So this is the first ultimate spell we had revealed. This is Dao Chan's ultimate spell. If you want to read that out loud, I don't know if you can see it.
You might need to make it a bit bigger. All right, so it's a cleric ultimate spell, 7 cost. Dude, that's crazy. On enter, target opponent summons 4 flower bud tokens, and then whenever an opponent summons a flower bud token, deal 2 damage to each champion that opponent controls, and you recover 2. Okay, I somewhat know it, and that's the whole flower bud mechanic is basically you drop those on your opponent, and then later you'll use this kind of deal.
Yeah, so Melissa played it when we would play. You gain the tokens. The tokens don't do anything, but she does have a card or a couple cards she could play that convert them into one of like 3 or 4 different options. And those things will basically at the beginning of your turn or beginning of your recollection do something to you, like hurt you or make you pay something. I forget what they all did, but basically for 7 though, it is expensive, but keep in mind she has fractals, so she can just be tapping down her Fantasians instead to pay the cost rather than putting cards down.
I mean, it's also like 7 for a minimum of like 8 damage, and then you recover 8, or do you so you would get both of these, right? Because they would summon the 4, you would get the 8 damage, and then you recover 8.
You also it's a Fantasia itself, so once it's played, it's sitting on the field. So that bottom part will trigger every time they make you produce those tokens as well.
I mean, I thought she had the Crux advanced element though, right? Am I?
No, she's Terra.
She is Terra. Okay, maybe Melissa just doesn't use Terra. I think.
She hit one point where she didn't like leveling 3. She only wanted to do
Okay,
one
yeah.
or do 1 to 2. But then near the end, she would go to 3. But it was Terra.
Okay. It's funny because I think that like the only exposure I have with that deck is Melissa playing it, and
Yeah.
she hasn't like added any extra cards or like tweaked it, I think, at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just not sure how, you know, what parts of it, like, you know, playing versus like a full, you know, like a full, like a better list version would be interesting. I'm just like, oh dang, this is what, you know, it can do.
Oh yeah, we've seen some other ultimates. They're pretty crazy. I don't think I have any saved here, but I'll gather some for the next time we record and show them to you.
Does Kongming have an ultimate yet?
Maybe. You know, I maybe not, because I think when I thought originally this was a Kongming spoiler, but then I realized when we were recording right now and we're sitting here, I was like, oh, this is Dalchin. So I'm glad I didn't say anything before revealing it. But so maybe not. I know we've seen a Rai ultimate, and I think a Xander ultimate. I don't know of anyone else off the top of my head.
You'd think they would give ultimates for each of the Pantheon characters, and then like include that in their deck. Although not, I guess it hasn't released yet, but still, you know, maybe like a little, like you can get access to these in this format specifically, like early or something like that.
Yeah, that would be cool. And maybe they'll do it later, because I mean, it adds a little something, I guess, to those
Exactly.
decks.
Yeah, because it's like, you know, that those decks should be like the one package that you need for, like, you know, to jump into it. You know, you shouldn't have to make too many tweaks to it, and having like the ultimate spells is kind of a big ask, I think.
Yeah, this was the first few spoilers we did get. We won't go too into all these, but I just wanted to show you there's angels. Angels will be a much bigger archetype going into RDO, as well as these golems. I don't know if you want to read the golem guy.
Yeah, I did. He did look pretty important. 10 cost. He's all seeing. He's a giant. While paying for this card's reserve cost, you may banish one or more cards named Crystal of Argus or Eye of Argus from your material deck. Each card banished this way pays for 3 of that cost. Oh, okay. Taunt, True Sight, Vigor. As long as Argus is awake, it has Omni Shroud. Wow.
Yeah,
it seemed pretty good.
I believe Vigor was where you could swing with it, and at the end of your turn, it awakens again.
Okay, so. Yeah. I was curious because I remember there is one. Yeah, there's a keyword there. And
he is exalted, so you have to be assuming with what this is level 3.
Yeah.
I know it's available level 2, but I don't think this would run in a Dark Alice deck. Unique ally, so you can only have one of him in the field. And we'll have to see what those 2 cards are. I don't think we've seen them yet. Those material deck cards.
Yeah.
But basically, this is a one-time go. You banish them and you do it.
Interesting. It has banish 1 or more cards. I guess maybe that takes into account the Crystal of Argus or Eye of Argus, but
yeah, because you could choose to just do one. Like,
yeah.
Who knows how the deck construction goes? Maybe when building the deck this would go into, you only want to run one of those cards because you need the other material deck space. So you're like, yeah, I don't mind paying 7 for this if it has to, and I'll make it 3 cheaper for at least that. So I think that's why they word it that way.
Paying 4 is pretty nice though, right? That would be yeah.
I would think so, yeah. This last one, I didn't even see it. 3 cost Zinvonia Abyss. Unique ally, Cleric Human. A Rasana bonus. If you would summon one or more Silvershine and or Freyja tokens, summon that many Vonia tokens instead.
Is that was the herb gather you were telling me about, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if when gathering you gather either one of those 2 herbs, then you actually instead summon whatever that token is. I do remember this, I think, on stream, because they're like, what is that card? And he's like, oh yeah, you're not going to see that, and we haven't seen it yet, so I don't know what those tokens even do.
Okay, I was curious if it was more like you know, the like Silvershine and Freyja tokens were like less, you know, less powerful, and then the Volnia tokens is like the real good rare gathering, you know, materials. And so that's why you would want to gather those instead. a lot stronger.
Yeah.
But it sounds like we just haven't seen it yet.
I'm just double checking to make sure I'm not brain farting on it. Yeah, there's no Vonia yet. There's no Vonia token. I didn't want to be like, Oscar, that's the 6th herb. What are you talking about? I haven't seen it yet. I don't know any other herb names, to be honest, because I've never played that deck. This is cool. I thought this was really, really cool. So this is they're reprinting spirits. They're going to have 3 different spirits as options. So this is Nico. Mm-hmm. I've shown you her before. And they're printing the champion on the spirit artwork. So then you put your spirit down. You can have a cool spirit like this. They'll do the basic one. They'll do 2 of the non-basic ones. The special ones, yeah. The special ones. I mean, they're all basic, quote unquote. I'm just saying, this one has the on enter glimpse 6 draw 6, and then I think the other one was the and another one was the glimpse 7 draw 7 into memory. So there'll be different ones. I think they said there's 21 different cards. So there's possibilities to find a champion that you like on one of the cards. As to whether or not that lines up with the element you play it as is unknown. So like say Kong Ming is on one and you get it and you run a water Kong Ming, but it's fire. You're like, crap. I don't run fire Kong Ming. But I like it. I thought it was really cool. Each of the artworks is a little bit different. Here it is. Oh yeah, here they all are. So this is the 3. They're not largely different, but you see the water swirls are different, and it's actually holding the relevant spirit for each one of them of what it actually looked like on the original card.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah. So I'm actually pretty excited about that. Hopefully those aren't on Arm in the Leg too, because I would love to see one that I want and get the one I want.
So are these? You said there are 21.
I don't remember the number because there's a lot of them. You have an option of getting quite a few. I have 2 numbers in my head. Either there's 12 champions being used, or there's 21 champions being used.
Okay.
You see the 1 2 2 1 I'm flipping on. I don't remember which one it is. Let's assume 12. There's 12 champions that would be on these. There's 3 of each of them. So
yeah, because it feels like they do have these for the regular basic version too, right? Like the one that doesn't do anything, like it just draws you your cards, no glimpses.
Yeah. I don't see it, but I thought they had it. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's kind of like, well, what if this is only special. 4? Yeah. Well, these are only. And then the like 7 times 3, makes 21. So there'd be 7 champions for each 3, and that one's not a. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. I was like, I wonder how that's.
It's a nice touch. I thought it was pretty cool. It can be, I guess, a little bit misleading in a way if you think about it. Say you're running a water Kongming deck, but this is your water spirit, and someone thinks you're on a Nico deck because they're quote unquote in the moment. They're confused. Maybe they're new to the game. They're in a big tournament. I can get stressed sometimes too myself. So, but hopefully it's not too bad. To where.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine overall.
This was just the reprints list. I'm not going to go over it, but just the ultra rare slots. So there's the URs that are being reprinted. So Grand Crusader's Ring, Lost Providence, Looking Glass, and Quicksilver Grail are the 4 big ones in my opinion. Yeah, I'm excited. I don't have a Looking Glass, so I would love to be able to get one through this now at a more affordable price. Like, even if that affordable price is anywhere from $40 to $60, I'll just make that one-time purchase anyways. Because right now, I want to say Looking Glass is in the upwards of like $180 to $200 for it. And it sucks because you go look at top 8 and the majority of them have a Looking Glass. But again, that could be adjusted when they may say ban that unmake duality that I showed you earlier.
Yeah.
Since that's on the watch list, that could switch things up because it is being run mostly right now because of the draw power rather than the distortion aspect of it.
Is the Looking Glass is also divine, right? Or is it not?
Yes, it is.
Okay, yeah.
These are actually all divine relics that I just named off. The spirits aren't, obviously. Those are the ones you just saw a second ago. But
because it kind of makes like Yeah, it's unfortunate that like skipping your like not materializing something else that you don't have to materialize the Grand Crusaders ring just to like draw. I mean, honestly, like the Looking Glass is also like draw two, which is, but I guess it would be Grand Crusaders ring. Yeah, it's just like skipping that opportunity cost of having to materialize is really really strong.
It is, yeah.
And
Especially since Looking Glass starts in play and Lost Providence comes in anytime during main phase. So
yeah,
it definitely is outpaced. Now, I think if Unmake Duality was banned and people go back to running Grand Crusaders ring, it balances it out more. You know, Looking Glass is now for distortions as it's supposed to be. Lost Providence requires you to be, unlocking an advanced element, so you're a likely level 3 already before you even get into play it, and it's delayed a turn. So I think it's on the wall that card's probably going to be banned. It's just a matter of time now. So next, Recollection deck. I thought it was pretty cool. So this is Mordred. Everybody was real hyped because they hadn't seen him in forever. I think if we had been following that in the lore, we'd be like, "Whoa, he's back! Whoa!" But it's cool because they are giving us 2 reprints that are definitely needed: Dungeon Guides and Frostsworn Paladins. Frostsworn at one point, I want to say, was around a $20 card at the most. I want to say it fell down to around $7 to $6 not too long ago when Water wasn't necessarily the number one played deck as much. And I did pick some up for like $5 a piece. I paid $20 for mine. When I started playing the game, this is my first big spend was for Dungeon Guides. When I joined, she was a $20 card. I think she's more in a 12 to 15 range. There's a few different artworks. Matter of fact, my cool moment from this weekend was at Locals. I didn't do so well, but I did get 1 pack, and everybody was getting the latest set or whatever it was. And I was like, I'll just take Immortal Ambition, and then that's an older set, and it wasn't even the alter version, which I thought it was, which had new cards. I was like, I'll get a couple new cards, it'd be cool. It was this, and I pulled a Dungeon Guide, so I was like, oh, cool, that's $15. I plus today, I'll take it.
That's funny.
I'll throw it to my Pantheon deck or something. But it was great. So as it says, great for new players. This is really great for new players. If you're watching this with us, you're new to the game like we are, as you hear with Rusty throughout this whole podcast. These cards come as a play set, so you're going to get 4 of each of these cards in this Recollection deck. You buy the Recollection deck for $40 to $50, depending where you're getting it from. You're getting some booster packs. You're getting the main deck, full play set of everything. You're getting cool stuff inside of it. So. I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that deck is probably much better than this Merlin Recollection deck that I got.
Yeah, so yeah, it is because we saw some cool stuff. Now, I don't know if we'll get to today. This is just an ascent taking place in Japan, so they're going to Japan again, which I thought was pretty neat. Very cool. Yeah. And Dallas. So this is one I was excited about. I've been wanting to go to an ascent. This is for anybody who's listening who may have played Force of Will. This is like on level with the GP. You go and you'll just compete with all the people who are the best of the game, whatever it is. They had one in Los Angeles I really wanted to go to. It lined up with spring break, which I get the full week off from work. And I was going to attempt to go and hang out with Joey. Joey's out in the area and have a good weekend. But unfortunately, the venue they originally booked was under construction for the Olympics that are taking place there in 2 years, right? And as a result, the venue wasn't going to be available anymore, and they had to book a new venue, and that one was a week after at that point, and it no longer lined up. And unfortunately, just with some work-related things, I just can no longer go to that, which was a disappointment. But then when they announced Dallas, I just got hyped all over again. Like, this is perfect. I just need to drive 2 hours north, and I'm basically there.
Yeah.
Colin can go with me, and it'll be a good time. I don't know if you want to attempt to go to this. I know it's a long trip, and you're busy, but it'd be cool if we all got together. If not for this one, there is in May, Vegas. Which tickets did go on. Yeah, tickets did already go on sale a couple days ago, and it's sold out. But it'd just be cool to go hang out in general, and us be together again. It'd be fun.
Dallas in December would be fun to go to. Like if it's earlier in the month, or or if I just go for like a day or two, that would be really cool. Or
I think so,
like a weekend, and take like a Friday, Monday off. That'd be kind of nice. It'd be really cool.
Yeah. Would you compete though, or would you just go hang out?
I would totally compete so hard, Oscar. Like I'm gonna have the best. I'll see. I'll see. I
We'll
actually
see where
probably
you're
would.
at.
I actually probably would like to compete, but
I only ask because it would be important to plan for your trip because unlike Force of Will, where uh, day one, which is Saturday, is a all day event, right?
mm-hmm.
And then Top Cut goes to day two, and Top Cut was usually top 8. They played out first thing in the morning. We went to a couple of GPs. I honestly feel it's kind of rushed day 2. they're like, gotta get these people going. Let's go. Round two, let's go. We gotta get out of here. They're putting chairs away. The venue's kicking us out. Maybe it was just the one I went to in Dallas that was like that. But this one instead is like 2 full days. So if you made day 2 and let's say you even made top 8, you're there till 8:00 at night. Like you're playing it out. Because as you remember, Top Cut is non-timed, so it could take you a while.
Oh, I forgot it. Yeah. That is nice, but I'd probably take Monday off anyways, so I don't think it would be too big of a deal, whichever way it goes. But I also don't think I would Top Cut. There's
and to be fair, day 2 is just more continuation because usually so many people, it's like. Man, I don't want to give a wrong number here, but I'm going to give a number off the top of my head. 14 rounds, and day 1 is 8 rounds. So then day 2, if you're top 32, you're just guaranteed for day 2, you're going to come back and do the rest of those rounds out. Then Top Cut takes place. Yeah, so that's why it's a whole day thing. Event ends, you still got the award ceremony to get your, here you go, you got 3rd place, congratulations, woo! And you get your thing, you take a photo, and you kind of go to the side, and they go, okay, now for the presentation part of it, because they'll sometimes do it a little bit, like, hey, don't forget this event's coming up, this one, tickets on this one will go on sale on this day, and, oh, here's a spoiler card or something cool, or here's a new t-shirt we're going to release. So everybody kind of tunes into those and sees. That doesn't always happen, but
it would be really cool though.
Yeah, this was the deck box, by the way. You're winning for everybody. No, it wasn't. I'm wrong. It's Alice. They basically were saying that they're taking a more creative route towards these deck boxes, so it's not just the box. So
yeah, that's funny.
Bow and the ears attached to this one. I thought that was pretty cool.
Melissa would be freaking out right now.
And this is a figure they're releasing. It's pretty big. I don't know the size on it, but if I was holding this would be a good portion of my upper torso, from belly button maybe to mid chest or a little bit higher. They did say they're reworking portions of this because I don't think they can release it as is because those spiky bits are dangerous. So I think they're going to rework that portion before they can release it as a product.
Interesting.
This was actually seen at one
of
the events.
I was about to say, I thought they had the 2 figures there, right? There's this one, and then there's like
just one.
Oh no,
they only have one. It's this one. They do have mini figures that are chibi, and they have a stuffed plushie of one of the characters. I want to say Sylvie. But this is the only fully detailed large sculpture item they have. I did show you an image where it wasn't painted, so it's just gray. And this is them revealing it as a painted figure now.
Looks nice.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty cool. This released already, so this was Lunar New Year merchandise set. They had 4 of them, but I purchased one of these last year, but it was a New Year set. I can actually show you this box right back here, this Grand Archive.
That one.
Yeah, this one was a first version of it. This one actually had Kong Min in it, and they're redoing it this time with 4 different characters. So there's Lorraine, Arasana, Rai, and Tristan. And contents are basically the same. You're getting a playmat, you're getting a wall scroll, an acrylic cutout. Instead of doing 2 stickers, they did 6, since they said people are kind of like they're talking to me, scared to use their sticker on something that they don't know if they're gonna want to use on that forever. So they're like, now you have options. You have 6 of them. Don't worry, use your stickers. And it came with a deck box and I think a keychain. Yeah, the keychain's next to the stickers there. The cool part that I wanted and everybody wanted was that playmat tube. It's black, has a zipper on it, very nice looking. But yeah, it was pretty nice box. I don't have any other photos, but they had unique artworks for all of them, but the playmat was the same one on all of them.
Is that playmat the same one that's like shown laid out there, laid flat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the
yeah,
playmat.
yeah. I assumed, but
yeah, they had promos that they didn't reveal yet, but they revealed them later, and they were okay. I think the most hype one was Vermilion Decree. Had a Rye on the artwork. I'm actually might be getting one of those through trade at locals. Nice. But yeah, these sold out quick. The box I have was they had a set limited quantity, but then after it sold out quick, they re-released it with another set quantity, and then enough people were able to get those where I was able to get one. These were super limited. I don't remember the number of each. It may have been something like 1,000 of each of them, but for some reason Rye was at 400 only. Because he's the guy, I guess. You know, they probably didn't expect to sell him as much as the girls. So. But these sold out quick. And a matter of fact, a lot of people had issues getting them. The classic issues people have buying online, where it's you versus the bots, basically.
Yeah.
So this did sell pretty quick. Some people had issues where they got hung up, and then when their cart refreshed, it was sold out.
That's always unfortunate.
Yeah, that was Dev Stream 1. We got one more to do.
Dev Stream 2.
We'll go quicker. A little quicker than this one. This one, they started off by really showing off the Mordred Recollection box immediately. So not only were we getting a reprint Dungeon Guide and Frostsworn Paladin, they're also getting a reprint of Snow Fairy. I don't recall Snow Fairy being an issue getting a hold of it. I don't know what the price was before or after, but still cool. You know, more reprints. So the thing that we were talking about earlier, where if a set rotation does occur, we're getting these reprints here, which keep them legal.
Yeah, that is nice.
So that could be kind of like what we're seeing set up in a way, but also a way of bringing costs down and bringing cards to people. So let me go pick up this for $40-$50, and I mean these cards right here are already guaranteed, which is pretty cool. This deck is unique already, in that it has the first of its kind. We have here a basic spirit that's also a divine relic. So running this deck now eliminates the fact that unless you're going to switch out that divine relic spirit, you're not running Grand Crusader's Ring. You're not going to be running Lost Province or any of those cards if you have this one here.
Interesting. Yeah.
So this is level 0 spirit, water, 15 life as usual. Flawless Spirit of Mordred can only level up into a Mordred champion. So this is tied only to Mordred. You couldn't run anybody else with it. And then on enter, draw 7 cards, then glimpse 4. That's pretty great. Yeah. I mean, you're drawing your hand out, and you're just guaranteeing those next 4 draws. Yeah, so
it's very interesting. Cool.
Yeah. I don't think we'll get too into looking at all of this. I kind of want to keep going. Mm-hmm. It does kind of have some other unique aspects. I'm gonna learn this with you, to be honest with you, because when I was watching it, I was kind of doing some things, and I was kind of like, it's just a recollection deck. I saw the first slide. That's cool. And I heard some unique stuff about the level 3. So it's not the level 3, but it's fine. We'll get to it soon. I don't know the order of these slides. I saved them last minute. But, you know, take a look at that later. It's just more of his stuff that he has. One cool part about this, and I was so when we were playing and doing podcasts, we did have more people with us. Colin's just really busy. He's got a lot of work that he gets through. Melissa, unfortunately, wasn't as engaged with the card game as I guess I was hoping she would be, and it is unfortunate because there's a lot of stuff that's coming out that I'm like, God, Melissa would have really liked this, and I kind of don't want to mention it because it feels like I'm trying to pull her back into it. I totally respect she doesn't want to play it. But they're tying him to fairies. So fairies are about to become a more prominent thing in this recollection deck. You don't see them yet, so there's just more stuff that he does. We'll keep it going though. Here's his level 3. So here we go. So the initial level 3 unlocks just Exalted.
Can you zoom in on this a little bit?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll read the first one. You want to read the second one. So this Mordred lineage means it has to, level up from a previous Mordred. Mordred can level up into champions of the same base level. When he does, draw 2 cards. And it says attack cards in your graveyard have floating memory and ephemerate X, where X is that card's reserve cost. That's pretty great. It's my first time reading that in total. Ephemerate again means you can activate it from graveyard, and then when you activate it from graveyard, instead of it going back to grave, it then goes to your banish zone. So it will give you a second chance to reuse some of those cards that you may have used already. I don't know.
And they skip those cards.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. And you're going to read the second one.
Yeah, so it's Mordred, Aurelian Regent. So this is the Luxem one. Mordred lineage. On enter, Mordred's next attack this turn gets +3 and gains on hit recover 3. Whenever you activate a Luxem element card, de-level Mordred.
Oh. So I'm not familiar on rules to say, does de-leveling him banish the top one, or does it go back to your material deck? But assuming it goes back to material deck, that seems pretty good. To every time you level up into him again, you're drawing 2 cards and then gaining the advantage of
getting +3 in the on hit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he would jump back in. That way you can just like bring him back out. But I mean, it's banish 3, which is a bit expensive.
Yeah, no, that is so true. But I mean, the fact that your like graveyard has the now floating memory attack cards. Yeah. Maybe he runs a bunch of attack cards,
Yeah, but then it's like Ephemerate. You want to bring like one of the big one out, and then you throw the other ones back in. And probably attack for like 6, 7, 8 damage. I'd bet.
I mean, I doubt you're doing level down, level up, level down, level up over and over again. It's probably going to be 2 times, and then if it's going your way, that's game, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Especially like the Luxem cards are probably should be pretty good to use. Yeah.
The other thing I want to point out in the artwork is you see his association now with all the fairies around him, kind of floating around both artworks.
Yeah, that's cute. They're like way more active in the second one.
Now here's all the fairies I was talking about.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
It really is, and maybe we'll talk about these again later. It's just wanted to show off kind of like the artwork so we can get a look at them and see if they have fairies coming in.
Guild is really cool.
More stuff here so we can see some attack cards already. That one right there, Dauntless Assault, is exalted, but Mordred bonus on attack, wake up the attacker. Sounds pretty great.
Yeah. I mean, even the luminescent slash lets you. I wonder when you devolve them. Like,
I don't know, but like looking at the middle one alone, like you can use it to attack, wake up. That card's now in your graveyard and has floating memory. So it's helping you go up to that next level so you get to attack again.
And it's already 7 damage without even having an actual weapon too, which is nice.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll pick up this one, and it'll be the redemption for Merlin.
I think this was the redemption for Merlin. I have the Merlin deck. I'll get this regardless. Just to always have options available, Mm-hmm. But I do think this is already looking a lot better compared. We're also getting Angels. Angels was the other thing that we're getting. I don't think Melissa would have been as hyped on Angels, mm-hmm. but I know Colin was, because I think one of his first Force of Will decks was the Arla Angel deck. So I figured he'd be
maybe
kind of this one as well.
I don't think he was that attached to Arla though.
Yeah, I don't think so either, because he quickly moved to other stuff that he enjoyed more. But he always made it a point to be like, yeah, no, I was the original Arla player in the group. Da, da, da. And I was like, that was the first starter deck I also bought, sir. Like, I also ran Arla.
Yeah.
But we're getting the Angels, lots of Angels. I like to see all this stuff come out, because knowing Pantheon is a thing helps create, those decks alone, where it's like, yeah, I'm running mm-hmm. just pure Angels. This is a pure Angel deck I'm running, or the different stuff. We got some, unique allies. These are interesting because if you look at the text there, it's a Luxem and Umbra imbue. So as long as the cards that you're imbuing it are one of the two in any combination of them, it is imbued. Which is the first time we've seen something like that, which is interesting too, because it's like, is there now incentive? Yeah, is there incentive now? Because it's legal to have them in your deck, you just can't activate them. So is there going to be a way to activate, I'm an Umbra deck, why do I have a Luxem card in my deck? You know what I'm saying? Like, mm-hmm. So I'd be interested in seeing how that plays out. I showed you that one when we started here. It's another angel. I like the way this artwork looked. It was really pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
This one's pretty neat.
There's quite a bit of angels. I wonder if they'll go with like all the angels will like fall, and then we'll get demons or devils or something.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. I'll look forward to that. Lucifer was one of my favorite decks near the end of it.
Yeah.
A Force of Will when we were playing that.
Yeah, like Radiant Origins, then it'll be like Demonic Origins or something. Seraphic. These are pretty cool. Man, I'm getting into some angels. That's these seem interesting.
Yeah. And then my favorite thing, suited. So now we got the suited cards. I don't know why I enjoy suited so much. It's just a lot of fun. We are going to look at these. Because I'm hyped on it. Sorry, if you're into angels and we didn't go through it, I really don't care. But, Eight of Spades. So eight of Spades is getting close to rounding out all of the cards for the suited. So with 8 being here, I think it's only technically missing a queen. And then it has all the stuff that hearts already has. We haven't seen anything that has to do with the number 1. I don't think they will because ace is already at the 1 value.
Mm-hmm.
And then we haven't seen a jack or king. And I don't know if they do it. Or a joker.
That's probably going to be the Demonic Origins set that they're coming out with. They'll have...
Yeah, maybe. But just taking a look at it, they did this with the 7 of Spades, but basically level 1 plus bonus that it becomes a 4 less card to activate. So this is a 4 cost card instead. Her cardistry ability, Wake Up 8 of Spades. I think that's pretty great.
Pretty good.
I don't know how often you can hit it at a cheap cost, so this is kind of costly. I would say from playing suited on my own already with what I have in my deck, at least having half the cost is there, so you may pay this for 4 more often than anything.
4 seems pretty good though.
Yeah, it is for maybe swinging in for game, like swing 3, waken, swing 3 kind of thing. I think 8 of Hearts will go to next is a little bit better. So while paying for this card's reserve cost, you may sacrifice up to 2 suited allies with reserve cost 4 or less. Each ally sacrificed this way pays for 3 of that cost. That's good because I say have a 2 and a 2. I banish those 2 or sacrifice those 2 to reduce this to say a 2 cost card. Also feeds my graveyard. So in my graveyard, I want to hit 10 on at minimum 3 because then my Queen of Hearts can get paid for through that. So if I had a 5, a 4, and an ace, that's the 10 total. I can now banish those cards from graveyard without paying my queen's price cost instead. Now she comes into play off of that. So this is kind of helping make that happen a little bit better, because where I'm at now, I had to have my opponent kill my suited cards and be like, hey, kill that. Please kill it. I need to play this queen a lot cheaper or for free. Her cardistry is 8, draw 2 cards. That's just, I think, good overall. Paying 4 to draw 2. I can see happening more often than the 8 of Spades, because 8 of Spades is like, in main phase, attack, pay 4, attack. While 8 of Hearts, I can play it, come in a recollection, pay my 4 real quick, draw my 2, recollect, and continue my 2.
Yeah, and you grab everything. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Table Straight's pretty neat. I want to see how this plays out. From looking at it, I'm kind of hyped on it, but in actuality, I'm like, how often can you hit that? And then because you don't know how often you'll hit it, how many of you are you even running of this? This may be, fun, local, casual game of us playing, and I have it in my deck rather than me going to like my actual locals down the street, and I don't put that in my deck because I want to do a little bit better, because they actually are pretty competitive over there. But reveal any amount of suited cards from your memory, and depending on the length of the longest consecutive streak of reserve cost among cards revealed this way and suited allies you control, you basically draw cards. So if you hit 2, 3, 4, draw a card. If it goes up to 5 and 6, you draw 2 cards. If it's 7 or more, draw 3 cards.
Okay.
And
it's basically all reserve costs, right? It's not like just
yeah.
Oh no, it counts the suited allies that you have in play. Okay.
Wait, it does? I thought it was just from your memory.
No, because I think it says It says depending on the length, the longest time
Oh,
streak
answer
of
this
cards
right.
among cards revealed this way, and the suited allies you control.
Um, my
So
understanding was just memory, so this actually comes out to be a little bit better than I was originally thinking. Because
yeah, so
you could,
if you have 4 suited allies out and they're like 2, 3, 6, then you gotta and you need to make up like a 4 and a 5 in your memory. That should draw you.
I'm thinking about it like I
Whatever.
pay 3 for 3 of hearts. She's a 3. If I use a 2, a 4, and a 5, now I need a 6 somewhere to draw my 2 cards off
Yep.
of it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. It's fun and gimmicky. It's like, oh, I got it straight, And I think
It's
that's what
pretty
we're playing
funny.
on. So I'm excited because I've been really loving Just Suited. It's just so much fun to do. Is it amazing and win everything? No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah. No,
it's
it
super
is.
ally heavy. It can be countered easily. What?
Another. It's counted so easily. Yeah.
It is like if you have cleave, you could take out the board. If you could bounce my board, it's slow me down. There's that hourglass whatever that basically makes my activations cost, I forget, 1 or 2 more. There's a bunch of stuff that could stop it that stop me a lot of times, unfortunately. And I've been told it's a high roll deck, so gotta do good, I guess. But it's an inside joke. Joey gets that one.
Yeah.
And we got diamonds. Diamonds were revealed, and I was so hyped on seeing diamonds come out. Diamonds are associated with water, so there's a assumption that clubs will be associated with wind, which could be cool. These here, I'm only going to read a couple of them. Like the ace of diamonds, the 1 cost. On enter, generate up to X bolt of diamond cards and put them into your memory. X is 0, depending on the total reserve cost of suited objects you control. So something that people don't realize on this one, and this is how all the aces exist already, so spades and hearts, is the number has to be exact. So when I play this card, it has to be the 6th card in the cost. So to get the 1. So if I have a 5 of spades in play and I play diamond and they're the only 2 cards in play, I'm getting the 1 bolt of diamonds off of that.
Mm-hmm.
It is fun to hit 21. I've only hit it once, and unfortunately they played, I forget the name of the card. It was wind. They said scoop all your allies up. I'm like, damn it. I hit 21 for once and I had to scoop everything up, and so the ace hit in with nothing on the field by itself, so nothing triggered. But I was about to get them for 8 damage. But I thought it was cool. So you can see both diamonds on the far right. 2 cost, fast spell. Level 2 plus, the card costs 2 less to activate. Deal 1 damage to target unit. That's cool. I did proxy this already, and I have been playing with it a little bit, just like little shadow solo plays, like of how it works and understanding it. That's amazing just for pinging for cards. Like, I get it's probably meant to be pinging your opponent for 1 and 1 and 1. I like it just because it gives you, what's the word? Influence to be able to play more cards you do want to play without the sacrifice of being like, well, I put something down that could have been useful, or I wish I could have had in my hand instead. So I thought that was pretty neat. We might get a suited champion only based on the lore stuff that we saw. The 6 of Hearts, the Duchess, basically picked up the key that Merlin dropped on her lore, which implies that she could be a champion. I don't know if she'd be a suited champion per se, or even one that assists suited stuff, but level 2 plus, my suited deck I run now is only a level 1 deck, so I don't know what this would go into to help take advantage of that. Throwing diamonds out, which is pretty cool in concept. You're just chunking diamonds at something and ping, 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 ping. The middle card, Retort 3, basically means that when it's retaliating, it gains 3 attack.
Yeah, so it's 4 damage, yeah.
Yeah. This would go good with the 7 of Spades, because 7 of Spades has its cardistry where it says everything would basically have vigor. So at the end of the turn, so during your turn, you attack with everything, and in turn, with that activated, everybody wakes up. So then you can start retorting on your opponent's turn if they're going to swing into you with stuff. Her cardistry is pretty good too. Reveal 2 suited cards from your memory. For each card revealed this way, generate a bolt of diamonds. So you're always going to be revealing, suited cards.
Yeah.
So getting more bolts. We got the 2, the 3, and the 5. Something somebody pointed out online is the 5s are all animals so far. So this is a weasel. We had a bear, and we have a rhino.
That's cute. Yeah.
I won't get into these so we can keep moving on, but I was very hyped on all the new suited cards that I get to tinker with. Matter of fact, so much so to where my deck now is a Fire Spirit with Lorraine, and I was talking with some of the people in the Houston Discord, and because there's some suited players over there, and somebody was pointing out, oh, run Nico to unlock the water because she's a water champion, even though she's level 1, and then way you could run say Fire Spirit, so you have access to both fire and water just in a standard play deck. So
yeah, and you can be fire water suited.
Yeah, so I'll be tinkering with some stuff, trying to figure some stuff out. I don't think I'll run all the diamonds, just the really good ones that produce those
the bolts.
Bolts.
Yeah.
Just for the influence aspect of it. And there's 6 diamonds. This was relevant for something. What was it? The next 3 times a suited spell source. Oh, so the bolts become 1 more
they're
damage.
just stronger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus 3 damage. Wow. So it's 4
plus
damage
3.
per.
I thought it was plus 1. Yeah. Yeah.
But it activates only once. The next 3 times. So 3 times you do, it does 4 damage. And then it's.
So it'd be 12.
Yeah, that's pretty good though.
Yeah.
A lot of damage.
Also, her
Just
painting,
6.
I thought it was pretty neat. And slimes, we're getting more. This made me excited mostly because of Pantheon. I don't know how good these would be in standard, but thought this was pretty neat. So the first one, Slime Swarm, pay 3, class bonus. On enter, summon 2 baby slime tokens rested. And you can see the little baby slime tokens.
Right ones. They're cute.
Yeah.
Banner slime.
Yeah. Class bonus, tap it. Other slime allies you control get +1 attack until end of turn. So that could be good to produce the baby slimes, and the next turn play a banner
and then
slime,
attack,
tap it. Yeah.
It makes sense. He's the banner holder slime. That's very very relevant.
We're getting more banner cards. I thought it was funny. We'll keep it going here. More slimes. I didn't look at all of these, so I'm not sure what they are all kind of doing. So Dewey is an interceptor at 0/1. On enter, you may banish a card with floating memory from your graveyard. If you do, draw a card and recover 2.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. And we got Inferno Slime, 3 cost, with Pride 2. Class bonus, on death, you may banish 2 fire element cards from your graveyard. If you do, deal 4 damage to each champion. Something that's kind of looking good in, say, Pantheon, I would say. So everybody's getting pinged for a little bit of damage there. And the last one is Rousing Slime for 3. Class bonus, on enter, you may rest Rousing Slime. If you do, wake up another slime ally you control.
Well, that seems interesting, especially because you get that one really big slime sometimes. It'd be nice to like attack it and then wake him up.
Yeah. I forget he's like the norm type that on attack, if you're at the right level, gains a buff counter every time.
Yep.
Is it Limitless Slime?
I think Limitless Slime, yeah. That's what I was thinking of. Seems nice.
And raccoons. I got excited about this. You can see banner raccoons a thing. So
that is.
We'll
really
read
funny.
these. We'll read these. I'll read this first one. So 3 costs, portly raccoons of norm type, ally, tamer animal raccoon. On enter, you may reveal 2 raccoon cards from your hand and or memory. When you do, target opponent banishes a card from their graveyard. And he's a 2/3.
Okay,
so I thought it was pretty neat. Yeah, basically, and it's funny because raccoons are digging in trash. So I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
We did have one raccoon before, the scavenging raccoon, who on enter banished 2 cards from your opponent's graveyard. So it's like that's their gimmick. I guess is like going through your opponent's graveyard. So this could be pretty good in a Pantheon as well. Is like you have more graveyards to start digging through. You want to go to the next card.
Buddy Raccoon, he's a 2 cost. He's also allied tamer animal raccoon. His class bonus is fast activation. You can activate this at his fast speed, so out of your hand. On entry, you may return another target raccoon ally you control to its owner's hand. Oh, so he comes in and saves some of your other raccoons.
Yeah.
He's a 1/2.
And he's on the back, you see him?
Yeah. He's very cute. That seems good for bouncing shenanigans. You get to replay the on enters. I like those guys.
Yeah. Last up is Banner Raccoon for 2. He's a 1/2, and as long as an opponent has no cards in their graveyard, other raccoon allies get +1 attack.
Okay, I see.
So you're really digging.
That seems kind of hard though.
Yeah, we'll have to see what else they do. I mean, we're only
Yeah.
seeing these 3 cards so far, so it'd be interesting to see like kind of how else that plays out.
Yeah, because with Portly Raccoon, I mean, I guess a lot of stuff goes to banish, to be fair, but
Mm-hmm.
Seems kind of difficult.
There's other things that exist outside of this.
Yeah.
For graveyard hate in general. Remember when I was talking about it earlier, when you went, "Oh, is that a thing you want to do? Is banish stuff from your opponent's graveyard?" And I said sometimes you do. You know, like with fire decks or certain water decks, you want to remove certain key cards from their graveyard. You know, like I remove your floating memories or some certain fire cards you need to bring Suzaku back and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's always interesting to me because you were mentioning before this Fracturize being such a solidly highly sought after card, and like whenever I was using Fracturize, I was like, this card sucks. Like it's not doing, like I wasn't, but I just wasn't really in a the right I wasn't able to like really use it to counter the things that needed to be countered. So I think I underrate these raccoons too, because usually I'm like graveyard hate. I don't really need to use it in the games I've been playing, but against those cards, it's like really really good. Against those decks, I guess I should say.
Yeah, one more raccoon to look at. I did show you this one already.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 3-cost Bandit Gaze Leader. Unique, and he's a 1/3. On enter, scavenge 6 for a raccoon ally card. Raccoon allies you control have rest and banish target card in a graveyard.
Okay.
I don't know what scavenge 6 does, but I'm guessing that's going through your graveyard in some way. Maybe to pull an old raccoon out, right? Maybe. We'll see. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. It could be looking through the top 6 of your deck too, but I don't know. Like they haven't done a keyword for that, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if they revealed it during the stream. This part I didn't watch, so it's possible. But right now we just don't know what it does.
Seems interesting though. Yeah, he seems good.
Point out they do have gems here and there, so who knows? Maybe they do some gem stuff that Colin will be into. He was in the pandas. He was in the pandas in Force of Will because they did gem things and fun little things, little dice he got to pull out. So I did make a joke with him saying, "Hey, they're not pandas; they're trash pandas." I noticed they have gems. Like Buddy Raccoon has a gem in his bag. It looks like, but yeah,
they do scavenge. The gems. I can see that.
I think this would be like the last 3 we'll look at here. I think we've gone long enough. I don't have a time, but new ways to level up, as it says. So outside dungeon guide and all the other guides, they do want other methods. So I'll read this first one here. Flagrant guide for 3 on enter. You may level up your champion. If you do, deal 6 plus X unpreventable damage to it, where X is 4 times that champion's base level. So let's just say you went to level 2. That's now 2 times 4 is 8 plus 6, right? So 14 damage to yourself just to level yourself up. Am I doing that math right?
Yeah, that sounds right. That just sounds
crazy, but like in a what was his name? Jin deck. I know that's one Colin was considering. His level 3.
He doesn't care too much.
His level 3 wants to get hurt and has ways of recovering life because he'll live like in let's just say Pantheon format. It's my turn. I go into level 3 Jin, and I pass. I'm alive until it gets back to me again, and I end my turn again if I can't recover in that time.
I wonder if the base level is just their level 1, and so it's only like 4 damage, but that's still a lot of damage.
I think it's the base level of the champion that you leveled into, right?
That you're leveling to.
X, yeah.
I don't like that at all, but I'm sure people will be like, "Oh, life is a resource. I use this to get all my, get whatever I do." It's crazy.
You want to check out card 2 on you?
Yeah, discover the divine. You may remove 4 enlighten counters from your champion. If you do level up your champion, okay, so you need to put enlighten counters on them first.
Yeah, and that was the deck Colin originally ran when we were playing starter decks, and he was on Rye, so he gained enlighten counters. So I think that is a resource. I don't ever played Rye or even competitive Rye to know or say this, but I'm gonna say that might be a resource that is expendable for you. That you maybe want to do.
Yeah, I guess thinking back on the flagrant guide, I guess Kong Ming recovers X when she levels up. So if you do, I guess she would be like 14, 16 damage though. Be hard to recover
Yeah.
that much, but I can see certain champions where that's not as bad of a. If you can recover it quick enough, not that bad, but interesting.
So next up is Radiant Origin of Warrior. 3 costs, Fantasia with Omni Shroud. Basically means it can't be destroyed by anything. Whenever your champion attacks using a weapon, put a training counter on Radiant Origin of Warrior. And it has a class bonus for Warrior, which is 3. You pay 3 and sacrifice this card and level up your champion. Activate this ability only if there are 4 or more training counters on Radiant Origin of Warrior.
Interesting. It seems too slow, but it does seem pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean that's at minimum what 4 attacks that you're doing. Yeah,
and you need to like recover your champion to get it before 4 turns.
Maybe. I mean, again, I keep going Pantheon in mind. I think a lot of these cards were designed with that being considered, but they could be something that you're doing in there instead. Games will go a little bit longer. One card I didn't show you that they did reveal was there's a barrier card you get in Pantheon that basically eats up 6 damage. The first 6 damage you would take in the game that come into you, and then it destroys the barrier, and then your life points are now open as they normally would be.
So it extends a bit.
Yeah.
Wouldn't work for the Flagrant Guide, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Just lets you stall out a bit further.
I think that's going to be good for today. We'll have a little bit more to talk about when we record again next time. But yeah, any last thoughts?
No, pretty exciting stuff coming out. I'll have to, I hope we keep doing at least like the 3-player multiplayer games because I was enjoying those. I actually wish we had recorded a bit more of them.
I know when we had the chance.
Yeah. But yeah, pretty excited for I think I'm gonna pick up probably a Pantheon deck and then probably that maybe get that Mordred deck because I think it's been more appealing to like get kind of a base deck and then kind of build it out from there, and a lot easier for me too. I don't have to I haven't like bought booster boxes, but I hope we get to do Pantheon. That'd be, or you said the
sandbox.
The sandbox coming out soon, right? It's like
I forgot to mention that earlier. I actually think these slides, if we kept going, would eventually get to that part. But yeah, the sandbox was announced to be released in March, an early development portion. I don't know when in March, because we are technically there now. Today's the 1st, so I'm expecting maybe for the Los Angeles Ascent, which is the last weekend of the month, that we should get it either by then or before then, if anything. But that's great too, because that's it looks a lot like a well-polished lackey, I think is what I've told you before. In that you still have to do all the rule-based effects on your own. It's really just a way to play the game with somebody online. I used to use those lackey back in the day, so this for building my decks in both normal and also like for what they used to call epic stories, which was their commander equivalent or Pantheon equivalent. Only because it was easy to keep throwing cards in and then going in and then filtering them out after the fact and then building your deck and from that. I don't think we'll be able to do multiplayer games in it just in the structure that it's in.
It's
just one-on-one, unfortunately.
Which will be
something
cool.
It was something we could have done in Lackey that we used to do was like our Epic Stories games, but we'll see how it looks and how it comes out in the end. But thank you guys for being here. If you're still here and listening to us talk and all the things, we were a little bit everywhere. We had a lot to catch up on, and hopefully,
I think next time we'll have more to go through.
We will. I think we're on slide 24, and I forget how many there were in here. 41. So yeah, we're at the halfway point. There's no way we're getting through this. But we'll have another one soon. We'll produce these a little bit more frequently than we were before. I think the last one we did was back in October. Sometimes it may just be me and Joey. Sometimes Colin will be here. Maybe in the future we can have to where another guest can join us if somebody wants to, be on with us that we know from our past. I don't know. I'm limiting it too much. I got real weird at the end there. What I'm trying to say is we're not gonna have just anybody jump on here, but it'd be cool to have some people besides just us to give opinions, especially people who've been playing the game longer, come in and chime in with certain things. So teach us some stuff. But thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
We'll see you guys.